Yay! This is technically take 2 because we started this and then I stupidly forgot to record my screen. Let me just double check I am in fact recording the screen. I am recording the screen.
Yay.
We're good. Hello.
Hello.
We're doing a screencast for this podcast episode of Midiboom. Like we did a while back with Stefan and his Banjo-Kazooie piece, where he basically just messed around in Cubase and we had a nice chat about it.
Yeah, I set up a lot of tracks.
Yes, he set up an exciting hour.
It'll be more fun this time.
Yeah, because this time we're doing a personal piece of mine which is the Zootopia suite. Now, if you haven't heard the Zootopia suite, it's from the movie of the same name, which is coming out. It
Very
might be
soon.
out by the time this is released, but
Possibly,
if it's not,
yeah.
it's Marchish.
Yeah.
It's basically Disney's latest thing about animals in the city. And I'm doing a nostalgic game orchestra remix of it, which what those are I take a bunch of themes from a TV show, a movie, whatever, and then I put them in or rearrange them in the context of games which I would consider nostalgic in a way. And this is the current one which I've done a lot on already. And as you can see, there's a solid amount of channels already open and available and ready to go. And this thing runs for a long time. Well, I think it's about 3 minutes in total at the moment. And I'm maybe about halfway through what I want to do. We'll find out, I guess. So I thought we'd have a listen, get some opinions of Stefan, see my work process. I'll talk about some of the things I've already done, what I'm going to do, and then we'll just have some fun seeing what it looks like. Now, straight away, I've just realized that there's a channel problem there because I was talking in the one that you will never hear because I forgot to record. Like this, my Cubase actually crashed a couple of days ago, and when I reopened this file, it had jumbled all the channels. So you can see all these numbers next to each instrument specifies what channel it's on, and if I click one, it tells you what instrument it's going to. And I'm hoping they're all correct because it jumbled them all up, so I had to actually go through and change them all again, which is a huge pain in the butt when you have this many, and this isn't even that many compared to some other things I've done. So I'm hoping they're all correct. I'm just going to press play, and if I hear something wrong, I'm just going to stop it and be like, that was not meant to be there. But let's just press play and see how it goes. And that's where I've got up to with that. There's also, let me just play the extra section. This is an extra thing which I made a while back. Let's see if you can guess what game this is from. Or if I actually had the guitar on properly, that would help. Yeah, the one downside to friggin' the guitar system on Swing is that it doesn't remember how fast you want the guitar to play.
Right.
Anyway, let's try again. That's better. Yeah, so that was Super Mario Sunshine in the in the style of a thing. Yeah, but let's ignore that one for a sec because I don't even know if it's going to be in there. It's just kind of tacked on there because I thought, hey, I know what would work. Okay, so the main two games, I guess. The first one is Metroid. Which is there. This one is also Metroid, but it's Metroid Prime 3. When it gets to here, this one's Assassin's Creed. Oh, hang on, just one thing to just do an autosave. Wait for it. Wait, there you go. Okay. Yeah, and then it runs onto this, which was initially Assassin's Creed, but then it kind of turned into Prince of Persia, and I'm not sure if it's either or the other. So, yeah. Let me... something I wanted to check actually. Was it here? Let me press play before I ask. Yeah, it was here. That's meant to be much smaller. There we go. Okay. I'll need to figure out how to fade that out quicker later. But anyway, the main thing I actually want from you, Stefan, is... I've lost it. Where is it? Here. This point. Oh, if the riser was not happening at the same time, let me just... That trumpet section I don't like at all, but it's kind of there as filler because in the actual suite, that's what happens there. It's like a triplet, dun, 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 which sounds like Game of Thrones now that I just said that. But I don't know how to fit it in at that point. Like I've messed about with like vibraphone stuff and it doesn't work. And I've plonked it on trumpets for now, and I don't think I'm going to leave it on trumpets. But I was just wondering if you had any thoughts about what would work at that point. Let me just play it again for you.
Yeah.
Any ideas? Like, bear in mind the whole Prince of Persia-esque vibe that's currently happening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it fits because it's like a sixth, and that doesn't really.
Two things come to mind.
Yeah.
One of them is kind of more whatever, and one of them is a bit out there.
Okay, we'll go with whatever first.
So I think like it's the I agree that the trumpets don't really work there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the mix of instruments, they just kind of come out of nowhere.
Right.
It might be worth trying just another. I know you have like the kind of string pads in there already, but it might be worth trying either like a high string, like in a violin, or I don't even know if you have any like kind of more unusual plucked string instruments.
I might do. I'll need to check my supply.
Yeah, if you have something like, I don't know, something more kind of ethnic.
Let me open up another contact instrument. If you remember Stefan's round of Cubase, you'll remember he uses racks, but I use instruments for my thing. You know, They're both very sound
Yeah.
choices.
Actually, while you're looking through that, I might just explain how my kind of process on that has come since
Yep.
then. Because I've now like I guess I kind of vary my use of tracks and racks depending on what I do. So I have a few templates that I keep set up for kind of more traditional setups. So like orchestral setups, double wind, etc., things like that.
Yeah.
And for those ones, I'm using racks just because A, they're already set up. B, I have the way that my instruments are set up, I have quite a few instances and things like the strings. So it just means that like I can actually see everything in the one screen if I want. I have my instrument input there and then my MIDI tracks.
Yeah, of course.
And I've also, because I don't have to because it's all set up and I don't have to worry about panning and stuff like that. It's just kind of the easiest way I've done it. But when I'm doing things more kind of ad hoc, and if I'm making a smaller track that doesn't have too many different instruments in it, when you're doing something a bit more kind of sparse, then I would just generally throw in instrument tracks, put in a contact instance, and then run it from there. As we've discussed before, it's much of a muchness, so there's not really one that we can't say that one is better than the other because they both work, and it's really just kind of what works for you in that regard.
I get what you mean. It's like I said, neither of them are better than the other. It's just a preference.
Yeah. Oh, I see you found something.
Buzaki or Buzuki.
Yeah, something like that could work. And one thing you could even look at doing, if
look
you
at the other ones before I decide.
Just as a general thought with that kind of, if you are going with the string thing, you could look at adding in some extra pads that maybe do like a gliss or something, around that sixth. So like, or something like that. If you need a bit more kind of punch in there, because admittedly by taking the brass out and putting it onto a string instrument, you would be kind of taking away a bit of the punch that line has in itself. So that you could just reinforce it if you need to.
That's a good idea. Celtic harp could work.
Yeah,
maybe. What is the other one? Kazakh Dombra. Not even sure what that is. Let's press it. And wait for it to load, because these ones have not been re-saved.
Yeah.
One of the things that you got to do with Contact is resave or battery save your instruments, so then they load super quick.
Oh, yeah.
But these are on an external hard drive, so I haven't battery saved them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Always remember, just make sure you do it every time whenever you install something or things change and you need to do things, because you won't remember until you try and load it up the first time and you're sitting there for
until it's too
20
late,
minutes.
now, where I've got to friggin' wait for. It's only 385 meg. That's not even big. Come on.
No, that's fun. While we're waiting for that, I'll
okay.
I'll just say my out there idea was to just more or less cheat entirely and just put it into percussion or something like that and just get the rhythm across.
Yeah.
So just dun 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 dun.
That's a good idea, actually. Maybe a snare or
or like a something a bit kind of a little bit boomy, like a I don't know,
a box.
A box or
a boom box,
or even like a darabuka or something.
Something like that.
And that can be your fallback if you try all the string instruments and they don't work.
Immediately with that.
You need something a bit
Celtic
resonant.
harp, it is.
Yeah.
I have sitars. Apparently, I remember having them. Okie dokie. Sitar. Oh, what did these mean? Let's just open up the main patch.
Sitar could be interesting. The only thing, you might lose a bit of that kind of feel of the sympathetic resonance with such a fast passage.
Yeah, I think Celtic harp would be better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that and just call it like ethnic strings or something.
Yeah.
Bam. And then I'll create a MIDI track. I don't like putting things straight up on my instrument tracks. I like to keep them naked.
Yeah,
Celtic.
that is a good tip, and I think that's one that is worth doing and listening to and paying attention to, because I mean you also want to get the most out of your contact instances.
Sounds nice and sweet now. Let's make you louder.
Yeah, you need to be nice and twangy.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Can I get higher? I do have a higher option. Let me. It's going to be drowned out, but I want to hear it. Oh, and I'll also delete the harp one. Kind of works. Let me drop it an octave and see what happens.
I think it's closer to fitting in than the brass is. Actually, you know what could be cool, as opposed to what I was saying before against high strings. I think that needs some tweaking as well. But maybe if you even get like a gliss in the low strings, because I like those pads that you got going. Like, wah, wah, na, na. Those are nice. Maybe if, like, you just kind of had the bottom fall away. It's like, whoa, like down into the
like climax with the riser, or do you mean like
no, after the riser? So like
here-ish.
Like during that triplet phase. Just like,
I
don't know.
Let me see what it sounds like with just normal pitch.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, just see if you like the idea or not, because it could sound like crap too.
Yeah, I'll solo it first.
No, it needs to be like a real
an actual
portamento
bliss.
as opposed, like do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't think I have it. Metropolis has that.
That's fine.
What I might do? Let me.
Yeah. Or you could just like mock it in just by doing a straight, like without the bend.
Yeah.
You get the idea of how that pattern sounds, and then
there's not really a gliss in it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Everything's muted. Why is everything? Okay, yeah, unsolo all the things.
You kind of lose it under everything.
Yeah. Well, I quite like it, so I might keep it in.
Yeah,
I'm also going to trail it off voice-wise, and then just bring it back up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the Celtic Heart thing works, but it needs something else as well. I'll think about it in a sec, because I do think that actually harp. Where are you, harp? There you, harp. I want you to do a gliss up to. Well, no, I think the chord is B when it gets to that point. So let's go for this B. Bam. And then what am I on? I'm on triplets. Let's make it 32. And then let's just fuck. What's in B minor? It's not that one. It's that one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Easy peasy. And I'll also make that an A sharp, because harmonic minor, best minor. And just do that and bring that within range and just plonk that down. Oh, but maybe not that loud.
Yeah.
Like that. Let's play. Yeah, that's an interesting little extra thing which I might leave in. Okay. I think the percussion idea is a good idea. I don't really have. I do have a bass drum open currently, but not a beastie thing. I might put the snare on just to have a look. Anyway, this is Contact if people haven't seen Contact before, and these are all the fancy libraries that I have. I'm gonna go down to percussion and choose me a snare. 3. Let's go for the middle one. I forget what the difference is between them. Yes, I know.
Slightly different.
Yeah, we can give it a go. Oh god.
You need to kill the roll.
Oh, does it keep going?
Yeah, you need to give it the.
Oh no, there you
yeah,
go.
There you go.
Yeah, it just dies over time. It's one of I do that a lot, especially when I'm going. I go up and I'm like, I need to go sixth, and I just hold down up and then go through every one of them. It's like, oh god, there's so many. I think I did the same with bass drum by accident. Let me just ruin lives for a sec. Bass drum. These the. Yeah, I was just like la 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 la, and then you're like, oh no, these are special things. Hang on, which ones are the?
Should tell you on this side.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ah, whatever.
Oh, well,
anyway,
whatever, yeah.
I'm just messing about anyway. Where are you? There you are. Oh shit! I pressed paste. Hang on, undo, control. Oh, here, snare, paste. Find my notes. There, I guess. Oh, bad Steve. Yeah, excuse me. Let's... No, wait, no. Okay. Oh, maybe not that kind of hit.
Yeah. I think you need something with a bit more resonance as opposed to that really ratchety. Like...
Yeah. Come on, you don't save every 5 minutes. All right. Do it now. Let me loud it up. Just so I can hear it. Yeah, it kind of works.
Yeah.
I'll leave it in. I'll probably mess with this for like hours later anyway.
Yeah.
So
just play with instrumentation there, and I think you'll
Yeah.
find a winner. But
yeah, that kind of works. I might see if I can get the room, if there's a room mic for Celtic harp, that might help. Yeah, okay. Well, let me just talk through what I've done with this. Okay, so Metro Prime has a bunch of synths and sweeps and junk like that in it. So if I press play, you hear the boop 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 boop, which is here in Signal. Great library.
I love Signal so much.
Yeah. Very nice sound. It's just a bunch of music guitar things. Super good. And then it also works in octaves. So not octaves, in chords. So if you hold down a chord, it goes through it. So you can hear there. And that's the main synth thing you can hear. There's also a bunch of sweeps and reverses that come from good old... please open. There you go. The Gravity Pack #1, which is Gravity, Natural Forces.
Natural Forces,
yeah. You know, just kind of FX-based stuff. I just chose a bunch which I thought sounded good and plonked them in at random times. You know, sounds neat. There's also the rumble and various other things around in here. Then I also have a bass pulse, which is from DM307. Why are you down there? There. Which is like one of these. Nope. One of them. Which one it is? Yeah. It's one of them. Which is the punchy thing you can hear. And then I have like 3 different choir things. I have normal choir, which is just the studio soprano arcs, and then for some reason vocalies. I don't remember why. I started this ages ago, so there's a lot of things which I'm not going to remember. Oh yeah, it was extra padding in the louder section. But yeah, lots of studio sopranos, followed by Tutti Vox with a bunch of effects on it. stereo enhancer, spark verb, and Absinthe doing some cloud filtering, and then they're just playing stuff. And it kind of has a weird kind of distorted sound to it that's not actually distorted. Kind of like they sound sick, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you have normal choir, which is just the same thing. Tutti lingua. That is not tutti lingua. Tutti lingua, just normal. Not making a sound for whatever reason.
That's interesting.
Maybe. Yeah, there you go. I had my mod wheel down, nothing. I'm just keeping them on sustained like vowels. I'm not using any of the actual words. And then this is also the strawberry Soundline strawberry thing, which is the like halfway through the Prince of Persia thing. So I basically just took the idea of the Metro Prime sound, which is synths and choir for the most part, and built on that, and then just messed about with it and added more junk. And then I switched to the Metro Prime 3 section, which is it's the city in the sky. I don't remember what it's called, like Sky Town. I think that's actually what it's called, Sky Town. Which again is choir, harp, and that's it actually. Yeah, it just sounds like this. Oh no, and no. Oh yeah. That's something to worry about with, where are you? With the DM307. Because what I've got it doing here is that I've just got it so then it plays when it triggers. So it's not pressing them individually, it just plays through the little rhythm I got here. The downside is you've got to press the same thing in order to stop it. So if I start here, it looks at that and goes, oh, time to start it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, please don't. So let me mute that just to give you a chance. But the other thing is also they have church bells, which are interesting with this one, because I have two of them. Both of them are from Toll by Sonic Kinetic. One of them is the Carrion bells, and the other one is just a tower bell. So if I play, you'll notice that there's a nice delay in there. That's because I have, technically speaking, 3 delays. I have this one, which is the Isotopes DDLY dynamic delay, which you need to download because it's
I've already got it. Yeah.
Excellent. It's actually pretty decent because it has 2 delays on it that change according to how thick the sound coming in is. Like it just adjusts. If the sound's really thick, it just stops itself to avoid kind of screwing up the sound world. And then I also have a ping pong delay, ping-ponging those delays. So as a result, rather than having to press the button over and over again, I just press it once. And you get a nice little church bells everywhere type sound, you know. Very nice. And it's exactly the same with this one, except this one's pitched. Oh, lovely. I do like church bells. So if you put them all together, there you go. Oh, piano's playing for whatever reason. But okay. I think that's because I accidentally left it in because that's what I did with the oar. It also helps here because the church bells continue through into the Assassin's Creed section. But yeah, I think the piano's just there because that's what I was doing when listening to it and just putting the notes down.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I just left it in by accident. It was like, oh, whatever. Oh, and I always have some shakers to add an extra kind of high section for the actual thing, which I've actually off-put, like syncopated for a little bit, just because the sample is a shake, so it's literally, it starts on the shake, so the actual hit on it is like milliseconds after you actually trigger it. And then we move on to the Assassin's Creed bit, which was super easy to do initially because I'm like, it's a nice sound and it's an easy sound to replicate. So I got piano. With the lovely 6th chord, which is, you know, always a lovely, always an easy, mysterious type thing. I have a bunch of air sounds. Actual samples from Sonic Couture, if I remember correctly.
From the
Yeah, from
Geosonics?
that's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, I basically turned off the synths and just left it as the natural sound. And then I also have an extra synth air type thing. That is not what it was meant to be. That is that. Yeah, that sort of thing. Easy peasy. And adding that all together, you just get. Oh no, I'm a liar. There's also the idiophone, also known as the steel drums from Spitfire. Yeah, here we are. This is a weird library because steel drums you immediately think are Caribbean, salsa type things. But this one's kind of recorded in such a way that it's meant to be atmospheric. Very nice sound. But yeah, it's kind of an atmospheric steel pan library. But I've stuck it on top of the piano. So if you listen to just those two. It has that kind of high-pitched piano sound with an extra kind of metallic sound, which I quite like. And then that's the only time I ever use that. And we move on to the piano doing mysterious kind of octaves up above, along with the harp doing its much slower thing. And then some strings. And then it basically does 3 iterations of part of the Zootopia theme in with strings, with just a general kind of the atmosphere. I think it's of Venice in number 2. Along with a longer tail than what would be normal, which I add rubato on with the tempo there. Which the choir also helps out with some extra padding underneath. And you get some really nice sound world type jiggers. I do like that high-pitched piano thing. I did it again later on. And then we have the Prince of Persia bit, which I'm probably gonna... It's it feels too basic for me at the moment because it's just guitar strumming and then Metropolis strings practically all the time with some... Actually, no, to be fair, I have put voices and stuff in it, so it's not that bad. But yeah, this is just Metropolis stuff from Orchestral Tools. Loud. Very nice sound. I do love that sound. It's really easy to do as well because I tend to use high legato octave if I'm going to do something in octaves anyway. I'm just like, well, why not just use the actual recorded sample? And it's the same thing with the low. Play. Again, really nice sound. And they make up these little sections here. Yeah, which, looks complicated, but it really isn't. It's literally just following the pattern of the chords. And the modulation bit here is just the volume. So, it's not the volume, it's the expression or volume or whatever. So it's how loud the instrumentalists play as opposed to the volume of the actual channel. And they do a lot there. And those strings do the same thing, yada, yada, yada. And whilst they're going along, there's a hybrid rhythm, which I got lazy and decided, nah, screw it, I can't be bothered making my own rhythm. I'm just going to let hybrid rhythms do the work for me. Because I'm incredibly lazy. And was like, well, I put it on as a placeholder. I was like, I need to get the harmonies down first. And then I put it on as a placeholder and was like, actually, this is fine. So,
It's funny how it works out that way sometimes.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Placeholders end up just being things. And then you have your voice things here, which Strawberry Phrases is really funny because it's meant to be kind of a jazzy vocal library type thing. But I find it works really well for ethnic
I was
based
about to say,
stuff.
it sounds way more ethnic
Yeah.
than jazzy. There's not many jazz singers that kind of sound like that.
Yeah. So many sets. Let me choose it. Yeah, so some of them work a lot better as like jazz things. Wait, which set did I use? They sound like roughly. It's a very strange library because it's advertised as like a jazzy, smoky type sound, and it is certainly a smoky type sound. But it works so much better as like an ethnic type thing.
Yeah.
But like a different ethnic type thing. It doesn't just follow typical ethnic wailing voice type sounds, which you get. Which I'm pretty sure I have a library of somewhere, but I was like, no, I like Strawberry better. And then there's the freaking legato, soprano, yay. You know, all good. Do it for a bunch of times. What is that? Oh, snare drum. It says vibraphone. I was like, why is the vibraphone playing? But no, it's the snare drum. And then at the end, I had this thing, which I'm not even sure what game it would be. I kind of just put a tail on, was like, yeah, sounds really good. I think my first thought when I hear it is actually the Atlanta level on Banjo-Tooie. I think it's because of the harp, not this part. I'm going to keep this in because I actually really like the illustration that I did. Which lovely ensemble pits. A nice easy way to do things if you can't be bothered opening each individual channel. You're just like, well, let's use the whole ensemble in Berlin strings. And it's saving. Hang on one second. Just got to let Cubase worry itself. There you go. Berlin strings, whole ensemble, pizzicato. Whole thing. Easy peasy to do. I just put it on one channel and just wrote out the chords, dun 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 dun, dun. Just some extra thing, and now it's done, and now or it's done at this point, and now I need to figure out what to do next. The actual suite goes through 3 sections. It goes through the first bit, which has been going through for like 3 minutes now. Let me go back to the start. What this thing plays. Damn it. Okay. This theme. And then it occasionally has a different note on the end, depending on where it is. Then it has a second section, which is this bit. Well, it doesn't sound like that, obviously, but that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, which, speaking of, this is the guitar we made. Bam! See? Hey! There we go.
Yeah, it's funny how useful that library comes in.
Very nice. Proud of us. Okay. And then there's a third section, which I need to get the MIDI for. I think, actually. Let me... where did I put... There's somewhere in here. I need to really organize this better. Because there are... Here we are. Dun, 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 dun. No, wait, what? Dun... Yeah, okay, so this is the bit I've already done, so I don't need this. Let me delete it. Bam. What I do need, however... Oh, I should get rid of these as well. Remove. Okay, is the other bit. So let me save, then let me get the third section, because I did all the kind of transcription in a separate project, which is there. No, I do not. And god damn it. Luckily, a lot of it repeats itself, so I didn't need to do any other kind of fancy bullshit. Which is why this particular project has huge gaps in it. But instead, I have here. Oh no, what tempo is it? I can't tell unless I activate it. Actually, I think it's 100. Yeah, it's got to be 100 because that was 100 before and it hasn't actually changed. So let me change back to nostalgic.
Can you not just check the markers without activating the project?
I really don't think you can. Like, you go here, yeah, you can't see.
Right.
Inspector doesn't let you see until you're done. But I do remember that the previous section is BPM is 100, and it hasn't changed since then. So I'm guessing it's still 100.
That's a good guess.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's just have actually no. First, let's move my swing stuff a little further back. Oh, damn it! There's also strings. Why are they there? Let's just move you over here somewhere where you're not needed. There you go. All is well. And I'll also take your tempo change and plonk it there. I think I actually made it 115 for that point because it weren't. Oh, because it didn't feel fast enough with 100. In fact, let me play it at 100. I like it at 100.
A bit languid at
yeah.
100.
That's much better, tempo-wise. So I've left it at that. But let's see what this bit actually sounds like, because I don't remember. It's been a long time. Yeah. So this is just basic harmonies. Oh, yeah, right. And so on and so forth. Okay, so let's think of a game that kind of melody could work. Okay, so do you have any ideas on any type of game that would function with that type of melody? Let me play it again. Yada yada.
The only thing that came to mind straight off, and I don't really think it has enough legs, is the from Super Mario 64,
The ending?
No, the underwater levels.
Oh, the underwater levels. Yeah, that could work. The only problem is I've done that before in a previous remix, so I want to kind of keep it.
Yeah.
I might do. I do have the samples for Super Mario 64 somewhere. Let me close all these.
What else is there?
Open up a new one. Old shit. That's what I'll call it. Old. No, not old, because that'll confuse me. Retro. Let's call it that. Okay, and give it a color as well. Do you have preference for color? Or
No.
Oh, what haven't I used? I'll use red. Red looks nice.
Mario Red.
Mario Red. Yeah, that's it. All right, and then we'll add an instrument into here. Bam. No, wait, I don't want contact. Never mind. Let's switch that up to Mac 5.3. That's what I want. Bam. This is a lovely program made by UVI, I think. Oh, Motu. I'm a liar. Motu. Oh, but it uses the UVI engine. So technically speaking, I was right. But it's one of my only things that can actually read sound fonts. So if I find my sound fonts... Wait, where would my sound fonts be? Oh, wrong hard drive. That's why. I want this one. And then I want instruments. Then I want sound fonts. Sound fonts. Super Mario. Ah, shoot. Which one is it? Ah. I think it's the electric piano. Yes, please. That's the one. That's the one. That's a nice sound. I do like it. Just as a kind of pure sound is good. I don't know what the actual melody is for the...
Oh, for the
the water.
it's like arpeggios. It's like doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
It's 151 2351, I think. It's like,
That'll do.
yeah.
But yeah, like I kind of see that. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of anything else that
that it could work
kind
with.
of has that feel.
The it's
Yeah.
annoying because it kind of sounds heroic, and there's not many heroic old stuff. Oh, no, I do so much Zelda stuff. There's no point doing
yeah.
Zelda.
That's why I didn't say it. I was like,
Yeah. Ah, God. What else is there? Well, I haven't done Banjo-Kazooie yet, but that's really not a Banjo-Kazooie sounding thing. Who else? What's wrong with Mario? What other Mario stuff is there? I don't want to go too retro. I like keeping things orchestral based because it's called a Nostalgic Game Orchestra remix. So Mario 64 would be a good one to choose. I think the water one might be a good idea, actually. Yeah. Well, that's yeah. What else is there? I've already done Metroid. Zelda can be a last resort thing because I've done so much Zelda stuff that I don't need to be doing it in Nostalgia Game Orchestra stuff. What about not Nintendo? There's like Crash Bandicoot. No. I don't know the music for Spyro the Dragon, so that's not going to help. Really. Metal Gear Solid.
No,
maybe.
It's a bit kind of
yeah. No.
Yeah. What about like one of the Sonic games, maybe?
Maybe. They're all very kind of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I think because we're starting to run out of time now, so I think I'll probably roll with the Mario 64 one and just carry on with that and see how it goes. What I might end up doing is just putting it onto different things and seeing how it sounds. So just as a... That's not what I wanted. How about... That's what I wanted. Okay. Let's do some free advertising for orchestral tools. All right. So here's your notes and shit. They do the things. I've not touched any of the modulation or anything like that. These are literally just the notes. Actually, no. Let's leave the piano in. Sounds pretty good, just out of the box.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah. Let's plonk it down because it's in the piano's harmonies and or range. I would certainly add some dynamics, but yeah, that sounds pretty good right out there. Yeah, Metropolis. Go buy. I'm not being endorsed or anything. Okay, well, that's essentially, I think, should be it. So I'll work on this in peace later. But yeah, that's essentially a brief look into what we do, what I do, what, any composer does, I guess. And yeah, I hope it's been interesting. And if you probably haven't learned anything, to be honest, but it's interesting to look at it anyway.
You might have at least, if you took at least one pro tip away from this, then,
yeah,
will have been worth sitting here.
Ignore
in
these
the
guys.
Yeah.
Watch your channels.
Learn off a real teacher.
Yeah.
Pro tip done. Educational value.
Bam. Well. Okay, well, yeah, that'll do. We're good. You'll probably hear I'll release this about the same time this actual piece comes out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and you'll see all this junk in proper form later. Okay, I'm good. That'll do.
Bye.